Hey there guys, it's Rick Utzer here with AirgunWeb, where we tell you the facts, not fluff, and today we're taking a look at the Ataman M2R Ultra Compact in .22 caliber. All right guys, before we get started, I want to say thank you to Pyramid Air for sponsoring AirgunWeb in these videos. I've been with them for many, many years. Actually, over 10 years I've been doing review work for those guys, and I absolutely love that I get to do it. When you're looking to get your next airgun, next batch of airgun supplies, go to www.pyramidair.com and please let them know that Rick sent you their way. So let's talk a little bit about the Ataman M2R. Now, the M2 is their, the M2R is sort of their rifle designation. What this is they've really just ultra compacted it, which is why they call it the Ultra Compact. So what we have here is a collapsible stock, which is really pretty slick. And then you have an adjustable buttstock. So it's very tactical, and this actually raises too. So you have a cheek riser, you have an adjustable buttstock. Again, it's collapsible. All of those things really kind of lend it to that ultra tactical, super compact, just a really fun gun. It's super lightweight. It's got all those things going for it. And the other things that Ataman does, it also has. So let's talk a little bit about sort of what Ataman does really well, and that is how they generate their regulated pressure. They have a great regulator, whether you're shooting 177, 22, 30, 35, whatever, 25. They know how to regulate what's optimal. So what's very cool, when you look at the spec sheet, say on the Pyramid Air website, you're gonna see that they have tailored the reg to each caliber. So, instead of just regging it at one pressure and being done with it, they actually customize the reg to be optimal in 177, optimal in 22, optimal in 25. You get where I'm going, is that they really tune it so that you're gonna get the best performance possible. Now, we shot a bunch of different pellets out of this today, and one of the things I really wanted to know, with our testing, is how well that regulator did work. So ideally, I wanted to maybe have this as a little compact hunting rifle, so I was thinking JSB Hades, those are gonna be the ticket. So I threw those in the gun, topped it off to 300 bar, we're gonna get to that, what's important about that here in a minute. Topped it off to 300 bar, and I shot 25 shots. That's what the website says you're supposed to get, and the website is absolutely right. After about shot 23, you sort of saw the velocities drop pretty quickly, and that's what you're gonna get. 25 shots with like the 15.89 or higher weight, you maybe get a couple less shots. So, pay attention to that. I would think that if you stick to 20 shots, that's gonna be optimal. That's 2 mags anyway. So 20 shots, you're looking at an extreme spread of maybe 20, 22 feet per second, a very small standard deviation. On top of that, I think even with all the shots, 25 shots with the Hades, standard deviation was only 7.41 feet per second. So very, very consistent. So I mentioned a minute ago about 300 bar. Let me tell you why that's important, and that's why a very important distinction I want to get to. When you're filling this gun, to get the shots you can get, given that this is a small cylinder, you got to put 300 bar in it. Well, if you have a carbon fiber tank, that's maybe 310, 305 bar, give or take some. So you don't actually have a lot of room in the tank to keep topping this off. If I had a 3000 PSI gun, I could use a big bottle, and depending on the size of the tank, but basically a normal size cylinder, I can maybe top it off 60, 65, 70 times. This, maybe about a dozen times was I able to top it off back up to 300 bar before I had to go fill my bottle again. So really my suggestion, if you really like this and you're gonna have to get to that 300 bar, I'd skip the tank and go with a personal compressor, something like, gosh, that little Air Venturi Nomad. You set your pressure, plug it in, turn it on, it'll automatically shut off when the gun's full. That to me makes a lot of sense in a gun like this versus trying to fill off a tank. You can fill from a tank and top off with a hand pump, but I really think the personal compressor is the way to go. Well, with that out of the way, let's talk a little bit about accuracy. So I grabbed my Hades and I started shooting, and at 50 yards, I really wasn't getting what I was hoping to get. Now, in close, 30 yards, 35 yards, man, I get a lot of really good groups, but I really want 50-yard accuracy out of this. So I started just cycling through a bunch of different pellet options, and we finally got to the JSB, the 14.3s. Now, that's not a pellet I would normally grab hold of, but I keep these around specifically because some guns like a little bit lighter pellet, and this is one of those. normally if you had the longer rifle, you'd be pushing over 900 feet per second easily. But because this is shorter, we're really sub 900. So at 50 yards, I think you need a little more velocity at the muzzle to really keep that consistency at that longer range with heavier pellets. With the lighter pellets, we have the velocity, they get out there pretty quick, and they group really well. So this is what I'm getting with the 14.3s, and they also performed very consistently, actually a little bit better than the Hades. Let me pull them up here. So looking at the 14.3s here, you get 25 full shots, which is very cool. So, you know, before with a little heavier pellet, it was kind of dropping off the reg about shot 23. Now at shot 25, you're still in front of the reg, so you probably could get a couple extras if you needed to. But, you know, our average velocity is 889 feet per second, and a standard deviation was only 6.63 feet per second, and extreme spread was only 25 feet per second. So you put all that together, and the 14.3s are a really good pellet for this, and the accuracy was very good as well. So noticing that the lighter pellets really seem to want to do better, I thought I'd go really light and go all the way to like the GTO lead freeze. And as you can see, they really wanted to group, but then they started to spread out a little bit. So not quite sure what happened there on the kind of back half of that group there. But I mean, certainly lead free, not a bad option if that's all you got. The GTOs are not a bad pellet to be shooting. So let's go ahead and wrap it up with the Ataman. This thing is just compact, it's lightweight, super tactical, super fun, and it's got a very, very consistent power output and great accuracy provided you got the right pellets. I would go with those JSB 14.3s. They seem to really work well for me. Guys, that's gonna be it. My name's Rick Usey here with AirgunWeb. We tell you the facts, not fluff. Thanks for watching.